All right, welcome to the Explainer. Look, if you're feeling a bit confused about all the weather talk over the Bay of Bengal, you are definitely not alone. There are so many mixed signals flying around. So let's just cut through all that noise and figure out what's really going on.
Okay, so let's get right to it. The big question on everyone's mind. Is this Cyclone Senyar forming or not? I mean, the reports are all over the place, right? Some say it is, some say it isn't, maybe it's already here. It's causing a ton of uncertainty. So what's the actual deal?
Well, here's the thing. The secret to understanding all this is realizing we're actually looking at two completely different things. It's a tale of two systems. On one hand, you've got this thing called Cyclone Senyar, and on the other, you have a completely separate low-pressure area hanging out near Sri Lanka. All the confusion, it's coming from people mixing these two up. So let's break them down, one by one.
First up, the fading storm. Let's talk about Cyclone Senyar. And yes, to be clear, it has formed. But it's almost certainly not where you think it is. Right now, Senyar is way over by Indonesia, near the Malacca Strait. I mean, that is a long way from the Bay of Bengal. And because of where it is, and a few other things we'll get into, it's just not expected to have any kind of direct impact on us. So you're probably asking, why isn't it a threat? Well, there are basically three big reasons Senyar is running out of steam. First, there's a monster typhoon over in the Pacific that's literally stealing its energy. Second, it's about to hit land, and for a storm, that's like unplugging its power cord. It loses its fuel from the warm ocean. And finally, the forecasts show it's just going to curve back toward Malaysia and basically fizzle out.
Okay, so forget Senyar for a second. Let's turn our attention to the main event. This is the system that is going to affect us, a low-pressure area that's getting its act together and beefing up right next to Sri Lanka. Now, this is the one we really need to keep our eyes on.
So, what's the deal? Why is this one powering up while Senyar's winding down? Well, you can think of it like a giant energy vacuum. It's pulling in power from everywhere. It's getting a shot of wind from the equator, it's slurping up moisture all the way from the South China Sea, and get this, it's even siphoning off the last bits of energy from that weakening cyclone Senyar. All of that is coming together to make this the real player for our region. And with all that fuel, this system is definitely on track to get stronger. We expect it to become what's called a well-marked low-pressure area. And from there, probably strengthen into a depression. And that's all likely to happen in just the next 24 hours.
Okay, so let's get practical. What does this storm mean for rain? On the ground, right now, today, November 26th.
Sri Lanka is already feeling it, for sure. We've seen some pretty heavy rainfall in just the last few hours. I mean, look at Trincomalee. They've already gotten 75 millimeters. And listen, this is not just some quick downpour. This heavy rain is expected to hang around for the next 3 days.
All right, let's hop over to Kerala. For now, the impact there is going to be a bit milder. We're looking at some light rain for these districts you see here, mostly in the southern and central parts of the state. If you're elsewhere, you'll probably stay dry, at least for now.
And for Tamil Nadu, today's rain is really focused on the southern coastal districts. So if you're along the coast in Thoothukudi and Trincomalee, you could see some pretty heavy spells. Nearby spots like Ramanathapuram and Kanyakumari, more like moderate rain. And you might see some lighter showers as you move a bit further inland.
So that's today. But what about the next few days? Well, this system is not sitting still. It's on the move, heading northwest. And that means the rain is going to shift around in a big way over the next week.
This timeline really paints the picture of that northwest path. So, starting tomorrow, the 27th and 28th, you'll see the rain pushing into the delta districts of Tamil Nadu. Then, watch what happens around the 29th through December 1st. It really picks up and moves over the northern districts. We're talking Chennai, Kanchipuram, Tiruvallur, and finally, as we head into early December, the whole system is expected to creep north again, and that's when Andhra Pradesh will start to see the heavy rain.
The bottom line here is pretty simple. The heaviest rain isn't going to stay in one place. It's a moving target. As the system tracks up the coast, things will start to get better in the south. The main impact zone is literally going to follow right along with the storm.
Which of course brings us to the biggest question of all about this system's future. We know it's getting stronger, but just how strong is it going to get? Okay, so officially this system has a designation. It's being called 96B Invest. And INVEST is just short for investigation. It's a tag meteorologists use when they're watching a system very, very closely, because it has the potential to become something much more serious. Right now, the forecast is for it to ramp up into a deep depression in the next 48 hours or so.
But here's a really key thing to watch. There's another weather pattern coming in from the west. It's called a western disturbance. You can almost think of it like a big magnet.
around November 27th, it might actually pull our storm system closer to the coast. And if that happens, it'll get to soak up even more energy from the warm sea, which could help it intensify even more.
And that right there brings us back to the million-dollar question. Will this thing actually become a cyclone? Now look, it is not a guarantee, but the possibility is absolutely on the table. If it does manage to intensify into a full-blown cyclone, the models are suggesting it would probably make landfall somewhere between Chennai and southern Andhra Pradesh. So for now, all we can do is watch it very, very closely. It's the big question mark hanging right over the Bay of Bengal.